did what I could, and I started really scrappy. I did everything possible, including making baby hair bows, cake toppers. I did weddings, birthdays. I made a font, did live events, engraving, murals, and teaching. Like literally, if you name any kind of niche in the calligraphy industry, I've probably done it and tried it. So on top of that, I was really soaking in just as much free advice as I could from multiple people in the creative space, including you, people on YouTube, and just piecing together things that I liked and then ignored everything that I didn't like. So
I love that. I'm here for it. Yeah.
So as you can probably tell, I was grasping at all the things calligraphy related, didn't have a strong foundation or niche. And because of that, I couldn't grow or scale my business. So like you said, I made an income of $24,000 in 2020. Just for an example, I was charging $30 for a cake topper that took me 5 hours to design, create, cut, package, and ship. And that didn't even include like how much went into the product itself. So like the cost of materials and stuff in shipping. So I knew at that point that something had to change. And it wasn't until I started learning how to engrave in January of 2020 and then invested in your program in November of 2020 that the puzzle pieces really started to fall into place. Once I invested in your program, I realized how much wrong I was doing in my business, and I knew something had to change if I wanted it to scale. So after going through your program and binging on it, I finally did a financial audit of the business for the whole 2 years that I had been in business, and saw that engraving and education were my heaviest hitters. So that's what I knew I wanted to niche down to, because I knew I was really enjoying it. So I niched down to the engraving. I raised my prices. I started pitching myself to different brands that I really wanted to work with. And then because of that, I set out to teach other calligraphers to do the same. And I thought to myself, if I had invested in a business coach years ago, it would have helped me avoid making those mistakes, those financial mistakes, and launching physical products that didn't sell because of the foundation that I didn't have. And so that's really where the Craft Academy was born, so that I could teach others to build a successful calligraphy business. And really, once I created that, I ended up I don't know, for some reason I went through an imposter syndrome after I completed my pop.
Very normal.
And
normal.
Went into the safe space, the safe zone of okay, I know pharmacy. I have this job. I have this 6-figure job with health benefits, retirement, stock options, and all of the things that can give you that financial security in your life. And I unfortunately ended up doing that for probably more than I should have. And by July of 2021, with the vaccine rollout and the demands of the pandemic, I ended up getting so burned out that I didn't even recognize myself anymore. It got to a point where I finished my shift on a Saturday. It was July 24th or something. I remember it very clearly. That Monday morning, I woke up and was like, I physically cannot get out of bed anymore. I cannot get into work. So I called my scheduler, called in sick, called my doctor, referred me to a therapist, and sent on a journey to heal myself and to really just trust myself and focus on the business and my students.
Thank you for sharing all that, because I know that talking about that side of things, it's so much easier to just talk about the highlights and all the milestones, and you've had so many, but I think that part of it is so important for people to hear. And I want to dive into, how to help everyone here watching avoid some of the things that you and I have both been through in